And that's Joe Brady. Joe Brady is the last candidate we have to talk about here for the potential new head coach if we were to let go of Brian Daboll. And the most intriguing thing about Joe Brady as a potential candidate to be head coach is if we were to keep Joe Schoen, hypothetically, and get rid of Brian Daboll, here's a guy that Joe Schoen did not work at, Buffalo together with. But obviously, Joe Schoen still knows everybody over in Buffalo, and he has quite the chance to go ahead and find out more information on him that he trusts than he does in others. Now, it's up to me. Schoen and Daboll are both gone.
But I was going to say, it's the package steal.
But in the scenario where you keep Joe Schoen, which is a potential scenario, everything's potential. We don't know what's going to happen. In that scenario, here's a guy that we could sit there and say, you know what? The Giants might look at this guy with Joe Schoen still there as a guy that Joe Schoen can get scoop on, trust, know what's going on. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Josh Allen, who thrived under Daboll, is still thriving under Joe Brady as well. So you can sit there and say, at the very least, Joe Brady was able to keep the success going with Josh Allen, which at least gives him something for his resume. Even though, again, we've already said Josh Allen's the reason, not these coaches. People love to make that jump. And
I was going to say, arguably, Josh Allen's having his best year yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very valid.
You could arguably say Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL currently.
Yeah, especially with the way that Mahomes has been playing this year. That's for sure. You
can say Mahomes is top 5, but not top 3.
Yeah, the way he's playing. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. He tends to turn it on. That's all that matters in the end. But here's Joe Brady's resume. So again, he's the offensive coordinator this year. He was the interim offensive coordinator the second half of last year as well. He was the quarterbacks coach in 22 and 23 for the Bills. He was the Panthers offensive coordinator in 20 and 21. He was the passing game coordinator and wide receiver coach for LSU in 2019. I wonder what happened in 2019. Oh, yeah, that's right. Joe Burrow. He was a Saints offensive assistant 17 and 18. He was the Penn State graduate assistant 15 and 16, and linebacker coach at William and Mary 13 to 14. So, got a little bit there. Got a little bit there as far as college and professional with the NFL there. I'm just not so sure about him at all because he failed miserably in Carolina. But it's like, do I blame Carolina or do I blame him? Do I look at the success that Josh Allen's saying and say, well, yeah, Daboll, that didn't work out for us. I don't know. Like I'm kind of up in the air on him.
It's also like blaming
Blame it on the rain?
Blame it on the rain. There's definitely good coaches that have gone down to Carolina and have not looked like good coaches because of the organization. Just like there's plenty of coaches that gone and coached for the Browns.
Oh, God.
And have not looked good.
Yeah, when you're in that
there's definitely a lot of bad coaches that have gone to the Browns, but there's some good coaches that came out of there. Or Titans. Titans have been, we just talked about variable before. Titans have historically not been a good team overall in the past 3 years. But there's some coaches over there that got,
Yep.
kind of flew under the radar. So you could.
Yeah, I just don't know what to think of his time in the NFL because, like I said, he failed one spot, then he goes somewhere else where he already has a good established, again, I should say, great established quarterback, and he's had success with a great established quarterback. But again, you look at LSU, like he was a hot commodity when he became the offensive coordinator for the Panthers. I remember that. Like he was a hot commodity. Like people were like, oh my God, it's a really great get for them. Look at the success Joe Burrow had with Joe Brady being the offensive, passing game coordinator there. Obviously, wide receivers coach, and they had how many good wide receivers in 19 with the with
well, yeah, I was about to say when you have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase as your duo, that's not much you can't do.
your duo. Well, I mean, it's just like I said. To me, it's just a little crazy how the whole thing went. I mean, you had Justin Jefferson, also not just you had Terrence Marshall. Like, talk about a trio of receivers at that point there.
Oh my god,
that's legit there, guys. Like that's absolutely legit.
what are you talking about, Drew? He totally made those guys who they were.
And that's what I'm saying. Again, that's the problem you run into. Was what happened? With those guys, was it him, or was it guys that had success anywhere? Again, Jamar Chase, success in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, success in the NFL. Terrence Marshall, okay, maybe not, but he was the third receiver. But you also got a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who had no success whatsoever in Kansas City, and he was looked amazing. And a big part of his game was that passing game there. Again, you look at the quarterbacks. Joe Burrow, obviously, amazing year, 60 goddamn touchdowns, led college football in completion percentage, yards, touchdowns. I mean, absolutely insanity.
I mean, Joe Burrow now, you can still consider him a top 5 quarterback with a terrible record.
Well, it's because of the defense. It's fault for the defense, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's how good of a player that Joe Brady had behind, in front of him.
And that's why I'm saying. Like, these
I'm trying to validate your point.
Him. These people have succeeded without him.
That's what I'm trying to prove your point. It's like you have a terrible offensive line. You have terrible defense. And Joe Burrow still not only has been playing great football, he's probably a top 3 in the league stat-wise this year thus far.
Yeah. And, James says, who was quarterback with Joe Brady in Carolina? Was it Darnold, Mayfield? It was both.
Yeah.
It was both. I mean, that's I believe so. I'm trying to think. 2021. Let's look it up. 2021 Panthers stats. I'm just going to verify. No, 22 was that year with Darnold and.
I was about to say 21 was Mayfield, right? And then it's 22 is.
No. I thought they had both. So Darnold was 21. Okay, Darnold was 21. So, and they also had Cam Newton towards the end of the year. And then you got 2020 was Teddy Bridgewater. So
that guy was fantastic wherever he went.
But you could say Darnold finally had success once he left them and the Jets. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to think of Joe Brady. There's guys that I have established opinions of. I'm up in the air on Joe Brady. I don't know, because I don't know what to think of him, because again, didn't have the best quarterback option really in Carolina. Had no success. Well, the Giants, whoever they hire as a head coach, guys, they're probably not going to have the best quarterback option, at least in the first year, because a rookie quarterback is not a great option. And if we bring somebody in as a veteran to start, it's still not going to be a great option. I can't see, all of a sudden Mahomes demanding a trade to the Giants to be the bridge quarterback for whoever we draft. Like, that's not going to happen either. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that should.
I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of chaos that you're going to have there at that point. So here's a guy who didn't succeed without the pieces. I don't know. Like I said, I'm leaning towards no, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's the worst hire ever.
Which also, like, could be argued. Like, we talked about, like, there's quarterbacks that went to Carolina and then left Carolina and had good careers.
Like Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Well, I say good careers, but he's having a good year.
Yeah, touche. Right. They were way more successful after leaving Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know. And I just don't know what to think overall of him. He's a little bit of an enigma for me. So, guys, let us know in the comments section here, though, who you would want to be our head coach if we were hypothetically to fire Brian Daboll, and let us know what you think of the people we talked about there.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.